Water signs. You're not meant to keep repeating this cycle. Let's go ahead and see what Spirit has in store for you today. There's no coincidence or mistake that you landed on this video. Take it as it resonates. All right, so let's see what cycle needs to end for you here, my beautiful water signs. We're checking our microphone. Thank you. Envious gluttony. All right, and the fact that it's even a number 9 card. Let's take a look, y'all. I just got this deck last week. Y'all gonna be patient with me till I memorize it. Okay. All right, so the stage is denial, going to the edge of the ravine, savoring the idea of letting go all restraints. There is hunger sleeping just under the surface like an animal lurking. It talks about this really, really deep feeling of almost hatred. Let me tell y'all something. Here's the difference between me and other people. Very emotionally intelligent. So much so that I teach it to my life coaching clients. And I've been in therapy for a very long time. There's nothing wrong with acknowledging the fact that you have feelings. And for those of you where, as water signs, I'm a Pisces moon. Happy birthday, Pisces. Happy Pisces season. I have to get with y'all tomorrow on a reading. You know, we're not taught that it's okay to feel rage or to be angry or to want to tear shit down or to be deeply hurt by a wrong that was done to us in the past. And so, if that is something that you're finding yourself struggling with here, where you're angry and it feels like that anger just keeps piling up and piling up and piling up and piling up, and tomorrow your mama say this to you, and all of a sudden you even more pissed off. And you're just like, I'm so angry, I don't know what it is. That's okay. But it sounds like, friend, you need to really start being a bit more vocal about how things and people and places are making you feel. But that outward speaking has to happen with you first, Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio. It has to happen with you before you can share that with others. Because if you're not being very honest with yourself about the way that things are making you feel, or the way that you feel that people are using you or misunderstanding you, or whatever that may look like for you, well, then you still feel that shit. You're just not aware of it. And then you're not making decisions that align with getting yourself the fuck up out of that shit. And it seems to me here, water signs, that this has become a serious problem for you. One of my clients said to me, this was like just last week, I just want to know how I can get to a point in my life where people, places, and things stop fucking me over so bad, and I'm the one that's left with having to pick up the pieces. You don't. That doesn't stop happening. You can decrease the rate at which it happens, but we don't have enough control over everyone and everything. In fact, we have none, just with ourselves. To the point where you would ever be able to stop life from happening. But what you can do is, again, learn how to really identify and sit with and validate and plan for what you can make a choice to do tomorrow, so that those things don't continue to have such a deep hold on you. I feel here that what you're actually seeking, water signs, is an opportunity to Be surrounded by people, places, and things that make you feel like you're doing the right shit, right? Like you hit the pinnacle of success, like you're celebrated, like you got the right things, the right place, the right mindset, like you're fucking winning. And you can. You definitely can. But I tell you what most winners don't end up doing. And that's breaking and bending and giving old past situations and circumstances and letting people presently in their life take up space and run that shit for them. Even for me, boundaries, I fuck with them. My mama should have named me Boundaries. And there's always this fear of like, oh, if I don't do this, then they're going to feel this way. Or if I don't work the overtime, then this is going to happen. And if I don't say yes every time, then no one's going to love me. And people are going to think I'm a bad this and I'm a bad that. And if I don't forgive them, I'm going to be alone. And you know, all the little shits that we tell ourselves where we be lying. I feel that if you really put a huge emphasis here, my friends, on no longer sacrificing yourself and your happiness and get a little more comfortable with actually being the bad guy. And being the bad guy does not always look like doing the worst thing to people on purpose. It looks like doing the right thing for yourself with no harm or anything meant for other people and accepting that sometimes motherfuckers is gonna feel harmed. I feel like there are a number of things in your life, your water signs, that you are still holding on to at this time that you know you needed to walk away from some time ago. But the mind, right? Hermit is at the bottom of the deck, so there may be a serious need to just stop. Just stop. Just unplug for a little while. Just take a couple steps back. See how you feel about shit. That's what I do. I take a couple steps back. See how I'm feeling about it. And then once I've decided how I feel, I remind myself why it's okay for me to feel that way. If I feel powerful, I'll continue to make decisions that allow me to stand in that power. If I feel less than, if I feel mediocre, if I feel guilty, if I feel this, if I feel that, if it's anything other than at peace or in control of my shit, not other people, just my shit, then I will figure out what is the next best thing that I'm able to do immediately to the harm of none, but with full focus on doing what I need to do for me. And then I'll make that decision. That looks like having those conversations, cutting people off, seeking out the opportunity, whatever needs to be done. And you know how you make peace with yourself? You know how you sleep at the end of the fucking day, water signs? Once you've made those choices and people do whatever the fuck they do, you ask yourself, how do you feel? And as long as it's okay, you good. Take your ass to sleep. Wake up tomorrow. Do it again. Vast vistas. Expand your horizons. I'm telling you. Like I always tell people, because, you know, my husband also makes motivational videos. And people, excuse me, comment these things like on his videos. Like, that shit sounds good. It's easier said than done. And I'm just like, will you please let the motherfuckers know that if they don't do that shit, then they're willingly choosing to leave themselves suffering, and tell them to make a choice and be comfortable with that. And so I tell you that if your thing is it's too hard or I can't do it or da 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 da, well, that's time for us today, water signs. Again, Pisces. Happy birthday. I'm gonna see about y'all tomorrow for a birthday reading. If this hit for you, go ahead and drop your sign below in the comments. View from above. Get the big picture. Get the big picture. Because that's what I always ask people. Like, what are we doing here? If you know what your plan is, then you can determine what your actions need to look like. Will the church say amen? That's what I got, water signs. Love you. Bye. Link in bio.